Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're looking at another feature film breakdown. This one, again, it's tricky because are we embracing technology? Is this the future of cinematography? Are we all gonna be shooting on these LED walls? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I guess it comes down to what you find interesting in the profession itself and what drew you there in the first place. I mean, the problem-solving aspect, if you're more of a techie person, well, then you'll probably embrace it. If not, I don't know. We can see, and hopefully this breakdown will help illuminate some of the issues that happen, is you start to get very cookie cutter coverage and very cookie cutter looks by leaning on what new technology can provide. And I don't even know if they did this on an LED wall. I'm only guessing because of the coverage and of the blocking and of the lighting itself that this could be done. And this is how you would do it if you were going to use an LED wall. So I have no idea. I'm no more privileged in information than you are about any projects that I didn't actually shoot myself. But the fun part is the guessing is the same as doing, right? Because if the guess idea would work, well, then the doing idea probably is somewhere in that same vein. Or maybe it's completely different, and I'm leading you down a path which will get you fired one day. And shame on you at that point for listening to someone that you've never met before. But that's what we're doing today. LED wall, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I don't know. Is it bad that I mentioned cookie cutter there, but I'm someone that repeatedly talks about the framework and how these individual elements, if you repeat them time and time again, will make your cinematography better? Is that cookie cutter? Maybe, but at least it's cookie cutter that looks nice. And when the job is making things look nice, it helps to do that, especially if there's a formula that will just allow you to do that. Now, when everybody else is on that formula and that doesn't separate you from the herd anymore, you can probably guess what's going to have to happen. You'll have to actually use your own talents. But that's for another day. This one, again, a small snippet from Patreon. The Patreon group is the one that supports the channel. The podcast makes all this possible in between jobs to continue to pump these things out. So many thanks. If you want to see the entire breakdown, that's the spot. The link is in the description. Okay, here we go. Here we are. Okay, now, this I wanted to talk about because I don't know how they did these, right? I have no idea. I don't know when this was filmed. I don't know what cameras they used. But there is so much of this Twilighty stuff that if they can fool me into not knowing whether or not it's an LED wall, that's pretty good, right? Because I'm just looking. I'm trying to catch you. And if I can't see it, you're doing pretty good. But there's just too much stuff at Twilight for this to be real. And the scenes are too long. What am I at for time here? Okay, I got enough time. What is it? 3 o'clock. So, beautiful. Huge landscape shot, right? Tom is long gone. The other girl, she's gone home too. These actors are nowhere to be found. They're not actually there doing that scene. And those are just stand-ins. And then, same exact frame, right? So Darius saw the dailies that we did earlier in the week, and he said, yes, that is good. Just do that exact same thing. Try and get some interest in the background, even more. Let's get some biscuits on there. Let's get whatever that is. Is that our girl? And then we'll get this beautiful fire as well, and then get the shoulder in, get it all in. And then get that nice over-the-top color of that blue, just really, really blue mixed in with the fire. Also having the color temperatures this perfect raises alarm bells. Feel that shake again. There's that shake again, the handheld shake. It's like a panic. You almost feel like, because in the movie, spoiler alert, he's got like a case of the shakes. Almost feels like they're doing it on purpose. Okay, here. Now, we go from this to, tell me I'm not crazy for thinking this entire scene and most of these scenes are LED wall, right? Like, this is the way that you would cover this if you were shooting on an LED wall would be this exact way. So if you are going to work on an LED wall and you want to see, well, we're going to do some location stuff, but then the main actor stuff, Tom just wants to be in Los Angeles. We're not actually going to go out to wherever the fuck we're filming this. Let's just, keep it to a minimum. He can only come out for a week or so. Say, okay, well, this is how we're going to film it. See how, number one, we don't see the ground, right? We're shooting a little bit up at him. And we get into this classic 2-camera coverage where we're going to play the tight eye line right next to the girl, and then we're going to play the slightly wider one off to the right. But look at the level in the sky. Perfect little firelight as well. There's not too much flicker from that fire, though. Here she's got some more flicker. But see that same camera thing? And then that. Like, okay, this one, again, could be LED wall, right? Just, it's right there. It just so happens that she's got that perfect hair light. Here again, go back. Right, like, okay, this is your actual set. We put in this grass in here. But this, to have that level of sky for this whole job, I'm not buying it. I know that Darius is a fantastic cinematographer, but the scheduling here and the amount of coverage here, even though you could do, like, okay, you could do her angle at night because you're shooting down towards the ground, right? That's probably how you would do it in the old days. You would get your big row of 18s out here far away and just blast this ground here from super far away so you get it nice and even across the background. And then you just shoot downwards so that you don't see the sky and how dark it is. And then over here, you plant your 4x frame and you just get that nice little shadow. And then you get somebody on the dimmer board going up and down with the little fire, right? And somebody wafting next to her. But this one, it just screams LED wall. But it's so good, like you can barely tell. The only thing that gave it away was just the colors, just how nice the colors were. And then you feel how different the grade is there, right? Like, okay, normal skin tones, everything's looking pretty good there. Again, normal skin tones. We jump into this shot where there is no light on that. Like, remember the one we were just at before? Remember this one? That one's beautifully lit, all balanced, perfect, in the toe of the image, everything's good. And this one, it's dark. What happened to our beautiful shape? Oh, it's because we do the tilt up. And then when we do the tilt up, someone has done some serious work on our gal's face there, right? That has been seriously lifted and seriously brought down on the other side. Lots of post shaping, it feels like there. And then it feels a little bit like magenta-y. Same again here. Okay, if you want to know how to place a light in a dark scene, this, and then you get a super talented actor to look exactly where you tell them to, right? Not like an inch that way or an inch this way. I need you to look at the moment when you're most concentrating on your character. I need you to look exactly where the little dot of tape is. Please, Tom. And this is what you get for all of your trouble. For being some giant megastar actor, this is what you get. You don't need any level over here. If you still have just that little bit of glint in the eye, that is in the perfect spot. That is a perfect eye light. It's not contaminating. See how it's not contaminating anything on this side of his face? Whoops. That's because we played the levels right in the first place. Right? We didn't light this up to, this key light is not 10 foot candles. Right? Because then if we try and add that little eye light, you're just going to get nothing but spoiled over here. Right? It's going to reach in over here. You're going to start to see it underneath the eye. It's going to look like shit. You got to lift it. You got to go up with the levels to take them down, or to not contaminate with the eye light. Just a perfect eye light. Now we're back to this coverage. Again, like outside. This is much like when we looked at the King. This fire stuff is easy as long as you don't shoot across the fire, right? You see that on like short films or student films or something like that. You want to be, it's like the kitchen table shot. If the kitchen table's over here, you want to be on the outside. So Tom's here, little girl's here, camera is here going that way, right? It's not kitchen table, girl, Tom going this way, over it, right? That's no good. No, if we've got our light source, person, line, we want to be over here, looking that way and looking that way, right? Around it. We don't want to be on the other side. And we continue, more shakiness, more, come on, that is not real. There's no way that's not an LED wall. Cook some food. Again, she's got the weird skin thing going on. And we're out of it. Yes, eat it up, yum. Same as this. I'm not buying it. Am I crazy? Do you buy it? Maybe I'm just tainted. I'm just bitter to see something like that, to see it where you just nail the perfect time of day. But I don't think it's real. Okay, now we go into this VFX shot. Notice what you do if you are in VFX land and you can do anything you want. You make the thing backlit at the perfect time of day, right? And what do we notice about that shot? What's the first thing you would be screaming to your girlfriend if you were in the movie, right? Or your boyfriend? You're screaming, I know what's going to happen. They're not going to have the sun in the shot. We're not going to have the sun in the shot because that would ruin our beautiful sky. Surely they will cut out of it. Oh, look at those backlit shadows from this big building there. Backlit, you're going to see it. And cut. And then we go to gray sky. This is that camera movement I'm talking about. Soft hob. Soft hob on Tom.
Can I get a soft hop on Tom, aisle 3, please?
Okay, what do you think? Do you, without trying to Google behind the scene images or trying to find the making of, was it done on an LED wall or not? Does it actually matter? The answer probably is no, because if you can't tell, well, then it doesn't matter. But how would you do it? How would you lean into this? Is it too perfect? Is it weird that you're just able to draw these scenes out over a sunset and that's not, does that trigger something in your lizard brain to be like, this is kind of fake? It's kind of like the difference between anamorphic lenses and spherical lenses, how the anamorphic, it just sort of removes that little bit of reality, whereas spherical can sometimes just be a little bit too mirror-like for what you normally see, and that can take you out of something because either the costumes aren't perfect or the makeup's slightly off. Whereas if you start to muddy up the image and just sort of dirty it up, well, those imperfections sort of blend together. Is that where we're lighting it now too perfectly? Like, is it too well balanced when you can control everything? Does that put you in a worse position than if you couldn't and you were having to adapt to the lighting? I don't know. I mean, would I rather though spend 3 months of my life on an LED wall stage, like a volume stage, versus getting out in the real world? I mean, I would definitely choose the real world, but who knows? Maybe that's the only jobs that there will be, unless you don't let that happen. It's all resting on your shoulders. Okay, that's going to do it. Many thanks. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.